Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunting. This time we're starting off with a Brachydios fight. The good old classic. I think their legs are actually vulnerable. Oh, there he is. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna crouch here for a second. No, I want to go Hunter's Notes, Big Monsters, and Brachydios. Water and ice. Okay, guess what I got? Both of those. In spades, so we'll just start shooting his arms if he holds still and hope for the best here. I gotta say, arm and headshots on him are really tough, considering he always attacks with his arms. So it has to be like in front. I don't know, I think I'll probably just go freeze. It's usually the best option here. Do you know what kills the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! God, I need to watch that Batman movie again. I mean, it was a terrible Batman movie. I mean, who thought George Clooney would make a good Batman? But also, it wasn't terrible? I mean, almost every Batman movie has been bad in some respect. It's just the old ones were really campy. And then, of course, you had the Tim Burton one. I love the Tim Burton Batman movie. It's so weird. But that's what makes those movies, I think, is just a lot of them are weird, or the casting's weird. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, though, I like that one. Granted, I've also always liked Mr. Freeze as a villain, because he's the most three-dimensional of villains, doing what he does for his wife. And depending on how you view that, it either means he's a good husband or a simp. I've actually never seen that discourse, though. People wondering if Mr. Freeze is just a simp. That's something different. Wow, I don't know how I dodged that. Inhuman reactions. Get away, stupid pterodactyls. Oh. Who? Oh. Blue Rathalos. Or Rathian. Ouch. Azure Rathalos. Don't want to insult him by getting his name wrong. I hate some of the little creatures that are just like, haha, now it's my turn to attack. If they weren't stupidly durable, I'd just go minigun mode and just bust them in half. I would say go sicko mode, but after that Travis Scott concert where people died and 300 people were injured, it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, maybe that's not the best reference anymore. Let me roll. Or just explode. Why not? That's what I'm here for. Yo, guy, can I, like, put my mantle on before you just beat the hell out of me? I don't want to go in there with half health. Alright, now let's go bust him up. Shooting you right in the beehole. When are we gonna get the anatomically correct monsters version of this game? If Red Dead Redemption can have realistic horse nuts, we can have Monster Dong. I actually don't want that, that'd be horrible. Mostly because, one, I don't want to see it, and two, I guarantee there would be a monster that has, like, armored scrot, and I just don't need that in my life. I hate trying to dodge those attacks. Even though my Nargacuga armor should be giving me additional, like, iframes, I swear it's literally like you get a frame. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Or just walk. Okay, that works. Oh yeah, sticky rounds. Those exist. And he runs like a coward. I'm gonna mine this quick, I need to do this. Oh, hello, Rathalos. Nice to see you just vibing. Are you going to chase me into the next area? No? Cool. You're slightly less of a douche. Kinda wish that when they do that attack and hit the little monsters would be like, nah, and just start attacking. Instead, they can get pummeled to near death, and they'll still look at a hunter and be like, ah, my chance to strike. It's like, no, moron. Well, that's annoying. I used my last shot. Now when I go into my inventory, I'm going to have to manually select and drag and drop the ammo over. Minor annoyance, but it's just one of those things where I'm just like, ugh. These are all 1 damage hits, but I'd rather just burn the shots now. Slicing. Why not? I'm actually really low on slicing ammo. I use so much of it that it's pretty natural that I'd eventually just start running out. Okay, so we're just like... just beating on him now. Actually, if he starts to run... no escape! Like a broken keyboard, no escape. Ooh, shock trap. Hey, we got him! I was honestly hoping we were gonna capture him. I don't really need anything from him, but... eventually I might make the gun for him. And we'll finish the episode off with another Odogeron hunt. I know I did one last time, but that was Ebony and the standard. I'm not high enough rank, otherwise there's a... what was it? Fatalis fight. I need to get to the point where I can fight Fatalis, because I need that. Like, really bad I need to fight Fatalis, because I think he drops the stuff for the Vor weapons, like Vor Burster, and that's, from what I can see, that's one of the best bowguns, outside of, like, the Rajang Blaster. And since I'm not going for a shotgun build, the Vor cannon seems to be my best option. This is not the way down. I have to go the other way around here. Hope these old footprints I'm finding are relevant to my hunt. Or at least to my current mission. Because to even progress in the story, I have to go find... just, like, evidence of more... I'm trying to think of the word. Elder Dragon, that's what it is. 2 words, but, you know, point still stands. I wish we would have got more environments in this game. Because I know there was... I'm trying to think off the top of my head here. There was the... in one of the older games they had a really cool environment that was like ruined temple and kind of marshland. And I think stuff like that's really cool. And it creates some really interesting environments and environmental pieces. So I was hoping we'd see something like that, but it looks like we just don't, so... Ah, the bleed. Alright, crouch. Walk it off effectively. There we go. At least the Odogeron bounced. I really need to have a bowgun that actually uses fire rounds. I have so many fire herbs, but I just pick up everything I see because, you know, there's always a chance you're gonna need it at some point. You, drop the sandwich! He's escaping with the sandwich! Ooh. Okay, now we get to go down and find him. Smoke nut. Since I'm here, might as well grab it. And actually, flow ferns are really useful since I use a lot of water rounds. I ended up off-screen getting into some good Teostra fights, which I was happy about. Still struggling to find Lunastra fights. Because I want to get... I don't even know if it's even a meta weapon at this point, but the Xenojiva Lunastra hybrid weapon, just because it has the extra spare shot ability, and I honestly don't know if the ability stacks. If it does, cool, then I'm set. So I will make fighting me an absolute nightmare, because I will just continually spam just more and more shots. Didn't mean to cut the corpse up, but sure, I'll take a monster bone. You know, I think there's an argument to be made for light bow guns. I don't really know... I haven't used my light bow gun in so long, but if they can fire in bursts, they might be better for some ammo types. But in that same breath, it could be that they deal the same amount of, you know, debuff buildup or damage, it's just spread across 3 shots. So, I don't know, I'd have to look into it. I didn't really look at what people were rocking for light bowgun builds. I just know I can almost build the maxed out Teostra cannon, which is pretty neat. I'm just not going to bother trying to slice the tail off. Unless an Odogeron is, you know, knocked over. They're just moving so much that trying to land hits directly on the tail is effectively pointless. I mean, I could sit here and try to land some exhaust hits on them. Hey, it actually worked. Stupid bugs. It is kind of nice though when you tag a bug with like a slicing round, because they always fly in the way and they're like, hey, don't mind me, just inconveniencing you and taking up good ammo. And just to watch one get obliterated. It's like, oh god, maybe I should have stayed out of the way. It feels good. It's the very minor catharsis I can feel for effectively getting screwed out of using good ammo. Hey, I got more slicing ammo back. Just what I wanted to see. One thing that just came to mind because I was thinking about re-downloading Dragon's Dogma is I've heard, actually it's two things, I've heard Capcom might be working on a Dragon's Dogma 2, which if true is huge. And then the other thing is, I wish we would hear something about Deep Down. It's been years, but I know they said they're still working on it. They just kind of shift people around. Hey, we got the tail. But so it's like, I want Deep Down. I remember seeing the first pictures for that, and it looked so cool, and then it just fell off the face of the earth. And then I heard the most absurd thing of the devs being like, oh, well, we want, what was it, I think 15 years worth of content? And I thought, one, that is a very, very high bar to set. Two, that's very bold of you to assume your game will last 15 years. Very few games make it that far, and that's because they're, MMOs. Unless the plan is to convert Deep Down into an MMO, which could be interesting. But then comes the issue of monetization and all that, and I'll be honest, when it comes to Japanese games and monetization, I found they're pretty terrible at doing it. Especially Capcom. Capcom kinda sucks. Like, look at the monetization in this game. Okay, you got your main DLC. Cool. Then it's like, hey, do you want to spend like $2 on a weapon charm or on a hairstyle? And it's like, no, I don't. Or what about spending money on decorations for your house? I don't go into my player house, like, ever. So it's a waste. Or you have, Umbrella Corps. Terrible example, I know. And if you haven't seen it, hey, I did a video on fixes for the game. Pretty recent. Came out in, I think, September. It's a good video. I worked hard on it. If I could redo it, I would. There's some extra things, but it's always been little minor issues that aren't too big of note. And I'd love to see that game actually get a sequel with all the fixings done to it so it's a better game. But you look at how that game was monetized. There was, what was it? Charging money for, like, metallic colors for decoration, and it's like, that is the weirdest thing to try monetizing. If you were gonna monetize that game, I would have been like, hey, the classic Resident Evil characters, you can get a helmet or a head replacement and then a body replacement. So if for one reason or another you wanted to be, Leon's body with, like, Barry's head, you could do it. It'd be weird, but you could do it. Or you could just have Barry's body and the appearance of that on a normal soldier. That would be better than charging for a flat color. And so it's like Capcom, they're not that good at monetizing post-launch. And so when it's like, oh, we want 15 years of content for Deep Down, I'm like, okay, I don't see the monetization aspect going well. So realistically, you might not even need 15 years. Because you might be getting 5 out of that game realistically. But that's just me. I try not to be negative, or at least pessimistic. I will be negative because sometimes negativity is needed. And of course, I always try to provide constructive criticism. I loathe dealing with "it sucks, fix it." That doesn't solve anything, it just shows you can't pinpoint issues. Especially when you don't even have to be real specific. You can be fairly vague and still be useful. You know, hey, this weapon feels kinda unbalanced. Maybe look at it. That's a pretty good descriptor. Okay, you know, it's not the best, but at least you know to look into it and maybe a number or two are off. Maybe the weapon being complained about does outperform others of its class. But enough of me harping on about that. I can talk about people and their bad feedback for ages. I get this is a master fight, but this Odogeron feels very durable. Don't mind me, just try not to bleed out. Saw that one coming. Okay, water's not that good. What about freeze? It's better. Wish this thing had... Actually, I don't know if this thing has poison rounds. It might, I just don't have them on me. I think that's mostly because I don't think I have a lot of poison rounds left, if I remember correctly. One guy just quit. Okay. Admittedly, I am perplexed as to how this fight still has not ended. I mean, it's not like this Odogeron is actually that tough. The ebony one... Oh, that was stupid. The ebony one went down faster. Well, there goes my attempt to not bleed to death. Okay, now he's on his last legs. I will actually switch to a trank bomb just in case. I don't even remember what bitter bugs are for. Wait for the other guy to catch up. Hey, got him. And that teaches you not to be the one guy who quit, because if he had held out for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, we would have been done. Not even 3 minutes. But that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.